This learning experience could begin with a question: which container will squirt the water the furthest? Children enjoy the thrill, excitement and wonder when playing with water squirting containers, which in itself creates a practical and authentic context for learning. By providing a selection and a variety of water squirting devices such as pumps, water guns, squeezy bottles, syringes, etc., learners can predict and explore which squirt will travel the furthest by measuring the distance. Learners will be developing skills across all areas of learning. In mathematics and numeracy, they will be using measures, length and capacity, using counting, measuring equipment, calculating, and will choose the most appropriate method to measure using standard or non-standard measures. They will be able to record and represent the data collected, interpreting their graphs and explaining their findings, also using and applying their digital skills. Within this learning experience, children will be developing aspects of health and well-being, developing control of fine motor movements, balance, core strength, and hand-eye coordination. Within science and technology, learners will be developing a greater understanding of forces and energy, and through their observations they'll be beginning to understand and recognise patterns from the exploration. They will use their knowledge and understanding to predict effects and communicate their findings. Literacy skills will be developed through reasoning, describing, comparing and interpreting the information. Through this engaging and practical experience, children will be given opportunities to describe, explain and justify their understanding of various mathematical concepts, using appropriate mathematical and scientific vocabulary. This experience will offer a blend of approaches which will include the direct teaching of specific skills such as measuring length, capacity and data handling, but it will also offer and include the more indirect teaching with the adult in the key role as facilitator of learning, prompting learners to think and reflect upon their learning in order to extend thinking and challenge themselves. The water squirting devices provide opportunities for pupils to take charge of their own learning by posing further questions which will encourage them to think critically and creatively when problem solving. Questions such as, is there a relationship between the capacity of the water squirting device and the distance you can squirt water? Can you accurately measure the capacity of each device? Does the capacity of a water squirting device affect the mark it makes on the ground? Or is this dependent upon ground surface and inclination and height or angle at which the water is squirted onto the ground? What is the longest continuous line you can make with a water squirting device? This challenge is surprisingly tricky, developing skill of using the device accurately to create a continuous line. Draw a continuous line with chalk. How far along the line can they squirt? Then there is the task of measuring the length of the line. This is also a good opportunity to practice conversions between meters and centimeters. Be aware that the lines can be surprisingly long, even from a small device such as a syringe with a small capacity. Can you create water paint spray pictures? Do different sprays create different effects? Does it depend on how near or far you spray the surface? This is not intended to be an exhaustive list of questions which can be posed by children and adults, but it does give you an insight into the potential and the possibilities of such an exciting open-ended experience as squirting water. The fun and engagement of this experience will contribute to the well-being and social development of learners, allowing plenty of opportunities for them to collaborate as they discuss their observations, thoughts, ideas and questions. Expect lots of laughter, learning and engagement.